What's up, guys? Welcome to another session of World of Tanks here on the BeefyTanks channel. I've got a guest replay actually from my buddy Manada Night's Watch, one of my clan members. He's driving the light tractor today, and we're going to see what he's able to take care of. Now, he actually ends up carrying the whole team here. I am there I am in my MS1, but I don't do as well actually. Within the first 25-30 seconds I'm eliminated. But he ends up carrying pretty much the whole team. Now, there will be a couple of things that I will highlight that he needs to work on, but it's only going to make him better. So, like this. If he's at tier 8 or 10 and he does that to somebody, he gets shot. But, you know, it's tier 1, so let's fuck around. Let's have some fun. Also, hitting everything, heading toward your target, isn't the best thing either. We were lucky enough to have no artillery in this game, but if there was, he'd be able to get tracked and shot, so that's another thing. Hitting 2 brick walls is definitely harder to get through than 1 brick wall. But again, no artillery, so you know, it doesn't really matter. It would allow him to get to his target faster, but that's pretty much the only bit that would be the issue. Now, he does approach an MS1 here that is apparently driven by an idiot and a madman. I've never seen an MS1 drive in circles like this, but he's able to lock on as he's going around the corner, and he takes 3 shots to him, eliminating him. Now, he is a gray difficulty when it comes to the player skill, so he probably doesn't play at all. He has less than 1,000 matches, so when he just drives around in a circle, especially exposing his rear armor, it's pretty easy to take him out. Now, he makes a wild shot here and actually bounces off the target, but I found it miraculous that he hit him at all, moving that quickly without aiming. And then up here, I end up going to his view so that I can see him firing at the target. Now, you definitely want to aim for the meat when it comes to the Aratsu. When you aim for the turret, it's very small, and especially if they're moving quickly, it's hard to hit, but he ends up getting some really good unaimed shots right into the target. Ends up deleting an Aratsu. Now, here's something else up here. I believe it's going to be, yeah, T1 Cunningham. So he's going to take 1 unaimed shot and it sails way over. Takes another shot and hits him right in the turret. Takes another and sails over again. And then makes another shot to the body and eliminates with a turret. At tier 1, really, there's no armor whatsoever, so it doesn't really matter what section of the tank you hit. You know, it depends on the gun you're using, of course, but it's always better to aim low so that you have a higher chance of actually hitting the target. Like that. There we go. So he ends up bouncing that last shot, actually, and ends up getting another player to take him out. The MS1 is eliminated before he can help. And then we've got an MS1 up on the, or I'm sorry, a stir fam, as I like to call it, up on the cliff, imposing a threat. But it ends up being pretty much nothing because he backs his butt up to the edge of the rock, and I say, "Oh, Jake, turn, shoot him." And he takes an unaimed shot that ends up sailing right over. And then he takes a perfect shot right through the spaced armor on the rear of the tank. And it goes right through the spaced armor and into the body of the tank. A great shot. So he rolls up here, and I believe he's challenged by a couple of tanks. Oh no, this is the portion where I definitely want to say something. In this case, you definitely want to make an aimed shot. Ooh, because the turret of his friendly tank is directly in front of him, and most of the circle was actually filled with friendly tank, not enemy tank. So you definitely want to get that aim all the way down before you pull the trigger. But then again, he was lucky enough to nail that shot, and if he hadn't taken the shot that early, he probably wouldn't have been able to deliver more damage. So we have a light tractor in the distance. He ends up moving up to the cliff and takes a couple of shots. The light tractor eliminates one of his friends, and I believe he digs 3 into him, or 2, but he gets hit himself twice as well. I believe they're using the same gun, but he ends up taking him out. And right at this moment, the last remaining enemy is in the bottom right corner of the map there, under the enemy base. And I say, "Jake, stop your tank and turn your turret. See if you can get a top gun," because he already has 5 kills impressively. He takes a well-aimed shot, but it lands high because it was in the very thin portion of his hull. But he takes a shot lower and eliminates him. That was probably the earliest Top Gun I've ever seen any player make. I mean, look at that. Ace Combat First Bad, or I'm sorry, Ace Tanker First Class. He's got his 4th class kill badge finally, 100 kills total. He got a Fire for Effect for dealing more damage to enemies than he took, and a Top Gun for getting 6 kills. Very impressive. I mean, look at me. 92 XP. He ended up getting over 400. Very, very cool. Well done indeed. If you go over to his cost, he ends up getting 12,800. Looks like. Sorry, I'm viewing this in the preview in Vegas. So he got about 12,800 credits, 17 hits, 14 penetrations. Very well done. So let's take a look at a different game here. Now this is what experience can do for you on the battlefield if you know exactly how your tank's going to behave and what type of ammunition to use and when. Now I skipped the countdown there, but as you can see, I'm rolling with my buddy Man of the Night's Watch, and of course Brian the Lion. He's been on a whole lot, and I really do appreciate his contribution to this effort of building this clan. But regardless, we have one hell of a game here. This is one of the few Top Guns I've ever gotten in a T14, and it's actually one of the few good games I've had in the T14. Although it's heavily armored and has a decent gun, it doesn't really deliver the damage that a heavy tank normally does, so you do have to pound away at the target. The fire rate lets you go nuts, but that's about it. We've got a Ram 2 over there, ends up taking a shot from me, bouncing 2 off me, 3 off me. End up taking another shot for his turret, but he ends up backing up too quickly. Still got him in my sights, though. Now, never do this. Never do this. Never rush across the bridge. I ended up getting really lucky here, not getting immediately eliminated by tank destroyers. Now, there's a T-67 bouncing off me, and then he hit my track for damage. That is what you want to avoid getting hit by, is tank destroyers right there. But since he's too far back into the base, I really have nothing to worry about, so I end up moving around the corner up here and taking off up this hill. Now, as I've said before, I will be posting a whole lot less often. I'm doing mostly gameplays now, so it's not going to be so much, wow, that was a lucky shot right into the side armor, or right in front armor, that SU. I'm aiming for his cupola, trying to penetrate. There we go. So really, I'm not going to be posting that often, but when I do, it's just going to be incredible games. You know, one every 2 weeks or so. It's mostly just for fun at this point, so if that explains why I haven't been posting lately, that's why. I don't know how often people will watch these, so I don't know how aware they are of the information. I keep bouncing off this IS, or sorry, the SU, just over and over again because I rushed his front armor, and it has very angled front armor. He was able to dig a round into me, kill my gunner, it looks like, so I'm going to need to heal him. But I think I do eventually. Now, there's a pair of T-67s at the back of this base, and with this T-14 I should be able to take them out, but then again, they're much quicker than me and much more capable of hitting something from a distance. So I take a shot at this grill, end up bouncing with HE. But I know exactly where he is. Ooh! That's actually a very lucky shot. Brian the Lion just took out somebody in the AT-2. Well done. Haven't really been watching the battle feed, so forgive me. Here's the T-67 getting one shot by an HE right to his turret. If you know where to aim and you have decent penetration on your HE, you'll definitely be able to take out pretty much any target you aim at. HE delivers more damage but has less penetration on average than AP. And that's pretty much for all gun types on all tanks. The only exception would be extremely low caliber tanks. Like, I don't think HE is available for Panzer 1C. I believe it's just the APCR and the AP. But that would be an example. Or any HE that's available in the Lukes, that gun. So here's a Wolverine. Hit him once with HE, and the second time I hit him, well, I miss. And then the third time I fire, I hit, do a buttload of damage, and my last shot nukes him. Ended up nailing him with HE and penetrating. All those other shots didn't penetrate. That's why they did partial damage or damaged modules. But once it penetrates, it's going to nail him. Now, this T-67 is still in the back of the base, and I noticed I'm using my proximity indicator. And I wanted to keep as much earth between him and me as possible. Me and him. Whatever, I'm not sure what's grammatically correct there. I nail this AMX. He is artillery, so I know he's got not much health left, and for some reason he fires a shot into the air as he's backing up behind the rock, which pretty much eliminates all chances of him actually being able to take me out. Because he is now reloading, and he has to point the front of the tank toward me. It's not like the average Batchat 155. He's going to have to aim his tank toward me. So as long as I could stay spare of his front, I should be okay. But he's also pretty quick and mobile. So as you can see, we are playing Ring Around the Rosie right here. But I decided to fake him out because, you know, that's the kind of guy I am. I can move forward a whole lot faster than he can move backward. Oh, got him. Now, Churchill 1 is way in the distance, but I've got bigger fish to fry when it comes to coming around this corner. As you'll notice right about now. There's a Churchill 3. End up penning the first shot because I switched over to AP after running out when I killed that artillery. I pen all 3 shots right to the front armor of the Churchill. I'm very impressed by the penetration quality of this gun. I end up hitting the Churchill. I'm not sure if it was out of spite or if I wanted to use it as armor against the Churchill 1. I'm not sure. But it was pretty funny. Come around this corner through the valley, and I end up spotting the Churchill 1. I stop to take a shot, and I barely hit him with an unaimed shot right on the tip of his rear armor. But that is where the game ended. The artillery on our team was excellent backup. I really appreciate that player in that lore. It was very, very well done. Or I'm sorry, the FABB, the French one. So look at this. Ace Tanker Mastery Badge, Shellproof, Duelist, Fire for Effect, Bruiser, Pascucci's Medal, Top Gun, Steel Wall, High Caliber. By far the most impressive game I've ever had in a T14. That was incredible. My profit margin's awesome as well. I'll be able to show you that in a bit. But 6 kills, bunch of bounces. I even spotted 5 tanks in a heavy. That's cool. 1500 XP, 1500 plus XP in a single game. Profit, look at that. Holy macaroni. It's in the 90s. You never see that in a freaking T14. I mean, yeah, it's a premium tank, but, you know, you don't really deal as much damage as you could see yourself dealing. And, you know, it's the T14. But anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out and watching this. If you like what you saw, hit the like button and subscribe. Hit the little bell so that you're notified of when I do post. It's not that often, but I do post. And it's as always, it's been a pleasure. Keep it beefy on the battlefield, guys. I'll check you next time.